You are now listening to Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Let's get into it.
Episode 14, Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Well, I'm in the van, but it's not snowing, and it is fucking 10 o'clock p.m. So at least it's not snowing, but what it is, last time it was a fucking blizzard, like I think 39 people are dead around here, Buffalo, Niagara Falls, and it's 50 degrees right now, and I'm fucking kind of getting warm already, so, so how things change here in Western New York. Anyway, what I was thinking, tonight's episode, I was going to talk about a controversial topic, which is probably not that controversial, but excuse me, ratting, snitching, telling. I see it a lot on Instagram and shit. I'm saying a lot. What the fuck's wrong with me? Oh shit, I hit the mic and everything. I see it a lot on Instagram, people talking about snitching, ratting, fucking, and I've had actually a couple, over the years, a couple instances where people I've reposted somebody's tag or whatever. I reposted somebody's shit. And then someone will appear in the inbox and say, yo, that dude's a rat. That dude's a snitch. That dude. And early on, I used to kind of entertain it. I don't want to say entertain it, but I'd like, oh, for real? Oh, what did he do? Or, whatever I would say. And then I would listen and I'd hear it. And then I'd be like weary about the person. But this person's like been mad good to me. And, so what I kind of do now is you gotta show me the paperwork. I gotta see the discovery. I gotta see it. And I think that should be the baseline, because everybody knows, like, unless it's like a federal fucking drug case, I think, with confidential informants or whatever, low level bullshit. Like, your name's gonna be in a discovery. Like in my case, because there were so many fucking witnesses, there was like over 100 witnesses when I stabbed these people, or sliced them, or slashed them, whatever the fucking terminology is with a razor blade. Anyway, there was like 100 witnesses, and it kind of helped me in a way. Of all the different people seeing this event, and it was like total fucking chaos, but it was like all these people had all these different perspectives of what happened that night, or what was happening, or so that kind of helped in a way, because there were just so many different stories, and some were similar and some were way off, and some were like total bullshit, and some like solid ass fucking people came out of that situation that you would have never even expected. Like people that I knew, and I didn't really know. I knew I think I knew 3 people at this event where there was 100 witnesses to me fucking committing violence. I knew a couple people, and some people really fucking stood up and fucking did the right thing. Like I always use well, I don't always anymore, but I used to say, like, be like Ed. Like, I was there with this dude Ed, and I was 16 when I committed my crime, and Ed was, I don't know, he had to be in his 20s, early 20s. I don't know. We used to go hang out at his house. He was cool. It was not his house, his apartment. He was going to college in Brockport, and we would go hang out there and shit. It was like a place to get fucked up at. AJ used to say, I know Ed is a weird dude, but it's a place to get fucked up at, right? So I was like, yeah, and it was that. It definitely was that. But his parents owned a magazine that was in town, so it was like kind of a big deal. Like we went to his fucking this lake house. Where the fuck was it? Honeoye Lake. I remember I was all fucked up, and it was nighttime. We watched when Syracuse was in the championship, and we went out there and watched it. It had to be 03. And I remember waking up to this beautiful lake view, and I totally fucking forgot like that we were there. I was like, I opened my eyes. I was sleeping on this couch. I was like, oh shit! It was fucking kind of cool actually. And then it all came back to me. But so anyway, so Ed was somewhat a privileged kind of dude, He definitely wasn't a badass, He was like tie-dye shirts and fucking smoke some reefer and drink some fucking Bacardi and read books about Buddhism and shit. And he was on probation for like a bunch of DWIs or something. So when my whole thing broke out, the police like nabbed him up, and he actually said to them like, I need a ride, and the police ended up giving him a ride, and they questioned him about like what happened, and he had to tell his probation about it, and on the fucking in the paperwork his shit said fucking Ed didn't know nothing, he didn't know anyone involved, he didn't see anyone involved, he didn't da 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 da, right? I went to his house, his apartment afterwards, fucking covered in blood. That's where I went. That's the only place I knew to go. I went to his house. I washed all the blood off my face at his house and started making my phone calls to get the fuck out of there, to get me out at 4 o'clock in the morning or something. And all of his paperwork said that he didn't know nothing. And he was like kind of a, I would have been sure that he would have at least said something. And I was like, damn, this dude was a fucking G. He said nothing. He didn't say nothing, and it's all documented. But then there was this other guy, the local thug around there. He was like, and this is like a predominantly white town, and this was like the thugged out black dude from the, you know what I'm saying? You like if you're from a town like that, you know what I'm talking about. Like it's like the guy, and I'm not used to that because I'm from the fucking city. So it was like we had like a thorough ass white dude. Like, oh shit, that dude's crazy. Anyway, but this was like the thugged out black dude from this suburban, almost country town. And he was actually, I heard him on a radio interview of some drug dealer that got fucking hemmed up or some shit. And he was on this radio interview on the local radio station. This was years later, saying, oh, I never snitched on nobody and all this about a totally unrelated thing. And I'm thinking, and they said the dude's name, and he was like sticking up for this guy on the radio, which is totally fucking random. And I was like, motherfucker, I got what they call a 6-pack, 6 fucking pictures. And mine was right in the middle of all these other mugshots. And he signed his fucking name right across my face. In the paperwork, it says he brought the police to the fucking razor. He brought the police to my wallet. He did all this shit. It's all in the paperwork. And so I'm like, so this is like this stand-up, thugged out dude, gangster, da-da-da-da-da. And he fucking gave the police a fucking guided tour around the crime scene. And I was just like, so this ratting shit, right? Now, is he a rat? I don't know. I know he was on the radio saying that he's not a rat when I, in fact, have this fucking paperwork that says otherwise. But was he? I didn't really know him. I didn't know him at all, actually. I can't say I didn't really know him. But I learned of him after that because I had to learn about all these names that were in all this shit saying all these things that I did. And I'm like, you never really know who's going to be stand up and who's going to be a rat and who's going to be, whatever. I mean, fortunately, in my scenario, like, there wasn't anyone to rat on. Like, it was me. I fucking did it. Now, I also do think there's a difference. There's a lot of differences, actually. And I think certain terms have all been kind of like bundled together and saying, like, snitching, ratting, dropping a dime, this and that. They're all like the same thing. But I do believe that they're not. And this is my personal belief. Maybe other people say, nope, a club's a club, a spade's a spade. Like, that's, but I don't know. I think ratting, if you're ratting on someone, you are in trouble yourself, and you are trying to get yourself out of trouble, and therefore telling on someone else's criminal activities for a lesser sentence or for no sentence, to get fucking let off. Ratting, snitching. And then there's dropping a fucking dime, that is more like a strategy of calling the competition and getting someone booked. Now, I do believe there's a difference. I don't believe morally in the quote unquote the code of ethics. I think they're probably the same, but for very different reasons. Calling up this fucking to drop the dime on somebody who, you're both selling rock or whatever the fuck you're selling, and he's got to go, or for whatever reason. Like, people fucking call child protective services on one another. People do all type of shit. Like, are you a rat, or are you dropping a dime on someone because you're trying to get them fucked up in the game? Like, it's probably the same, but it's for different reasons, so I guess, like, when people say there's levels to this shit, I believe that there are levels to fucking telling. And I also think that we're all guilty of it in some form or another, because like, you can't, if you've ever heard someone say something about someone else and then told that person what the other person said, I think that's kind of ratting as well. That's kind of being a snitch. And I think we've all done it. We've all been in a room where somebody that we don't really know that well, or we know of, is talking about someone that we know really well. And then you go back, yo, I'm saying, though, my man was saying that slick shit about you, though, son. I think we've all been guilty of that at least once or twice, or told something that someone else confided in. That someone has told you something. You're like, yo, this dude right here, what I'm saying? Like, I know you about to have him living at your house and shit, but last week you was telling me definitely about stealing a bunch of shit from someone else's house. So I just want to let you know. So, I mean, these are just examples, but I do think that everyone is kind of guilty of that in some form or fashion. But then other motherfuckers get clipped and fucking start telling, like, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Like, oh, all right. So one time, me and Dubs and Paulie was at home. He had the money, gave us the money because he was like the working guy, and he had the money. Oh, the neighbors is leaving. They looking at me crazy because there's mad computers and shit going on in this van. So my man fucking gives us the money, me and Dubs, and he's like, all right, we got to get some herb from somewhere. So it's like, all right, we're gonna go hit the block and get some herb from somewhere. So we're walking down Otis, Murray, whatever. Me and Dubs are walking, and we see this dude, Jay, and so we're like, oh, let's go see Jay, the local fucking. He's like new. He lived like kitty corner to my house on the street the house that I came home from the hospital in. All right, so I was fucking there long before him. Came home from the hospital like at birth. Anyway, so Dubs and I like walk down to Santee Street, see Jay riding his bike, Black Jay, that's what they called him in the neighborhood. And I don't know if his counterpart was White Jay. I'm not really sure. But so Black Jay's down there. So we go up. I'm like, yo, get them nicks. And he's like, all right. As I'm looking down the street, down Otis, this whole and I'm 14 years old at this time. This whole fucking family of people that I know, I was friends with their kids. It was their kids, their parents, and their fucking grandparents. And they was rolling down the fucking street. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, they're about to watch me buy some weed off this dude. And they're going to fucking tell my mom. So I said to the guy, I was like, let's go down Santee a little bit. I was like, there's some snitches down there, right? This is the fucking worst thing that I could have possibly said. Because not 30 seconds later, we're walking down Santee. Me and Dubs are standing there. We start walking down because he's like, all right, well, we'll go this way. I'm looking up towards Otis from Santee, and there's a van driving down the wrong side of the road with the sliding door open, and this big white dude with fucking curly hair. He was huge. This dude must have been fucking 350. Massive dude. He fucking leans out, hits Jay off of the fucking 10-speed from the sliding glass door, from the sliding van door. There's a tumble. He tries to get up and run. All the police cars start piling in from everywhere. The boys jumped out. I'm like, oh shit. Me and Dubs are just standing there looking at each other. This whole shit is taking place right around us. We're looking around. No one grabbed us. We look like children, though. We are children. I said, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So we just started walking back up Otis towards Carnes. And don't we walk back in the fucking house, and Paulie says, we tell him this whole story where our adrenaline is fucking jacked up. This whole shit just went the fuck down. They end up getting Jay. Anyway. And we tell him this whole story, and he's just looking at us, listening. And he's not making no facial expressions. And he goes, so did y'all get the weed or what? I said, motherfucker, did we get the weed or what? I don't even want to leave the fucking house anymore. I thought I was going to fucking jail. So this whole thing is funny now, but this turned into this big fucking deal. Because this dude was sure I was talking about something else, some snitches, and just so happens the fucking task force jumps out on him, right? So now he's saying I'm the fucking rat. And of course I'm the cracker in the neighborhood. So, But I've been there. Everybody knows me. I've been there my entire life. I've lived in that house for fucking my entire life. Like, I'm known. The people of this neighborhood know me. You are new here. You don't know me. So he started this like smear campaign. Yo, 5-0, all this shit. My dude, Jay, ends up fighting his people back. It's like fighting. There's like people getting their shit punched. It was like serious. And in the end, there was a discussion, and they said, yo, Berto's your cousin? Yeah, Berto, yeah. Oh, this whole fucking thing, all this time. Berto's your cousin? Oh, all right. Misunderstanding. This went on for a whole summer. And I didn't fuck it. I was trying to buy some herb. I'm not telling on this dude. And it's just fucking, I don't know, man. I think that people are thinking that these days are like the 90s or the 80s even, where people go and they gotta sit if they gotta sit, and son, motherfuckers. If the crime is right, man, people are gonna tell. And if the person is mad soft, they're gonna fucking tell. But I don't think it's gonna be about the things that you think it's gonna be. Like, I'd say in a rare case, someone is gonna okay, so someone gets clipped doing a fill-in, and I just can't. I don't know. Maybe I just can't see someone be like, yo, I'll tell you who does all the graffiti. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, that means nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't really know if there's any, like, the world is fucking burning down. I'm not really sure if anyone gives a fuck who's doing the fill-ins in the fucking neighborhood. Maybe they do. Maybe your town is like, yeah, tell us who's doing these fill-ins. But I got a feeling they're just going to be like, son, get the fuck out of here, dog. Like, people are shooting each other in the fucking head. People are women, children. There's people. It's fucking insane. No one gives a fuck about your feeling. I promise you. I don't know. I got way off track telling stories and talking shit. But don't fucking tell. Don't snitch. Don't do that. Don't, but also, I guess, like, if my grandma calls the cops on someone, I mean, she's kind of, she's a mark for snitching a little bit, but but she's not a criminal either. Like, that's what people are supposed to do. Regular people I think you're supposed to call the police, man. Because I don't think community policing works. I think I said something about that before. I don't think community policing works. Motherfuckers don't even show up for work. People don't even want to go to work. You don't even want to get a job. Motherfucker wants a community police. You fucking kidding me? You can't even feed your dog on a regular schedule. How the fuck you supposed to police the community? The fuck's wrong with you? People got this delusion where... But anyway, so... I mean, you kind of... There's certain people where you got to kind of expect them to fucking call it. Like, they're going to call the fucking cops, dude. I know I've had the police called on me on multiple fucking occasions, and I'm doing what I'm doing in front of who I'm doing it in front of, and I know they're calling the fucking cops on me right now, and the fucking police are gonna show up. And sometimes they don't, but usually, mostly when I have that feeling, like that's what's about to happen. Like, someone's calling the fucking police. I remember me and Silo were doing fucking what were we doing? Were you doing throw-ups or something? And some dude started yelling from the fucking street, I got this all on film. It's not film, you dickhead. We got a Super 8 over there, motherfucker. I got it on film. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, send your old fucking pixelated ass bull ass shit video. What the fuck are you gonna get? Two dudes doing some shit from fucking 2 blocks away on a grainy ass fucking Android video? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. People fucking need to fucking calm the fuck down. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. So that's basically it. I was trying to tell you some stories about some snitching and shit. Don't be snitching. And if you're a regular person, you can snitch, I guess. But don't snitch on me, though. I don't even care about that shit really anymore. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I think we're all fucking up in the streets, and I don't really know how much law enforcement really gives a fuck. If you're not pushing that Fetty Wap, boy, I think you're pretty good, man. I don't know, especially in the city. I don't think the fucking police are doing shit. I don't think you could just do whatever you want, basically. Like, the way it looks, at least. So, I don't know where I was going with this. Go get you a fucking Zippo if you haven't got one yet, man. I'm just as heat. They showed up today, boy. Woo! Looking at them mugs. Oh, yeah. So the house, closed up on the house. So I'm going to be starting a lot of work on that shit. So I'm going to be trying to juggle all this. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I'm probably going to do some t-shirts again. We got to start bumping the fucking clothes again, man. I'm getting tired of wearing the same shirts, because that's all I wear is Devastator shirts or bullshit fucking hoodies. So I gotta find, maybe we'll do some hoodies or some sweatshirts. Sweatshirts or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know what to do. What time is it? It's fucking 10:30. I still gotta finish these packages. Well, don't snitch. Don't tell on nobody. If you're snitching, make sure you're just like a regular person with a regular job and you don't do no crime. Because if you don't do crime and shit, you're kind of required to fucking, I wouldn't. I would. I don't want to say I would understand, but I would understand. You know what I mean? But if you don't have to, like, I'm not fucking. Believe me, I'm not. Oh, so there's one time. So we were walking, fucking. Who the fuck was there? Mike Dew was there. I don't remember who the fuck was there. It was like 10 of us going down to the fireworks on 4th of July. Mike Dew, I'm sure, was there. Anyway, there was like a fucking 4-car accident, right? Who the fuck was there? I don't know. Anyway, there was like a 4-car accident. And it was on the way to the fireworks on 4th of July we were going to ABVI on South Clinton. And all these people got out. And this dude got out, and this fucking white dude, he's all bugged out and shit. And he like came up to me and he's like, yo. He's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, I caused this. I'm fucked up. I caused this whole thing. And there's all these like women screaming and crying, and there's fucking children all over the place and shit. And I'm looking around, and it's just me, him, and I think Mike Dew. And I said, just run, yo. And the guy's like, nah, I can't run. You think? And I'm like, I don't know, run. So he lokes around for a little bit, like fucking looking around and shit, like assessing the situation. And he like kind of walks to the far side of the car, and this dude just takes off running. And fucking everyone's like, oh, real nice. Oh, blah, 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 blah. So only me and Mike do fucking know that I told this guy to run. So the cops show up, all the women and shit are talking to police and shit. And they're saying this guy ran. I'm just sitting there laughing, and fucking Erica, we all go to leave. Now it's all done. They're all, Erica and everybody, Mike Dew's old lady there? I don't even remember. Like tending to all these people that were involved in this accident. And fucking, they were walking away. I said, yo, I told that guy to run. And he fucking did. She's like, oh my God, you did it. Yeah, fuck yeah. I wanted him to run though, man. He was scared. I don't know what the fuck he was on, but that boy was definitely scared of going to jail for something. But, alright. Anyway, I didn't tell the police that I told him to run. I didn't tell them nothing. I said I didn't see nothing. I didn't even see the accident. We came here after it. But we seen it all, like Ed. He's seen it all. Ed's seen everything. He just didn't tell nobody. That's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm done. Happy New Year, motherfucker. And many more.